Hey, Black Hills, everybody. How's it going? Danny, morning.
How are you?
It's morning, man. Mr. McWilliams is used to live here in the Black Hills. He's from the Black Hills, right?
Yeah, I grew up here my whole life, and then at 21,
Out. Yeah.
Well, at 18, I went to the state
Yeah.
education center in Yankton
Oh, okay.
for 2 years.
Well, Danny's a successful entrepreneur nowadays. So coming from here, so getting a little insight from somebody who's went from rock bottom to making it. You're happier than where you're at, and that's how it goes. So let's educate some people out there about successful people coming out of the Black Hills, and you can also stay around here. But you're back quite a bit too.
I come back a lot more during like the spring and summer just to mainly ride my Harley and stuff. The wintertime, not here very often. It's been a couple months since I've been up here, but
it's rough. And then you might not get a flight out of here.
Well, yeah, and see, I never fly into Rapid City. I can't stand regional, and Jesus Christ, today I went there to go rent a car while I'm here because I flew from Tampa to Denver, and then that time change happened while I was in Denver, and I'm already 2 hours ahead there, so it's like 11:45, so it's 1:45, and then all of a sudden I'm out of nowhere, it's like 3:45 in the morning. And I'm just like, up the next morning, we're driving back up here to Rapid. It's just, this time change has me all messed up. It really does.
Yeah, I bet.
These guys are calling me from Tampa at like 5 o'clock in the morning here, and I'm like, it's killing me. But, I'm making it, so I'm happy to be here. Happy to see what you've got going on here. I've been following this. I've been watching it. And shout out to Richard Tiger and Mike Broadster, dude. That shit had me cracking up there. I don't think I ever realized how people really see me riding. And I ride like an asshole, dude. You know what I mean? It is 100 miles plus through the hills,
It's fun, man. It's beautiful out there. It's good roads, too.
It is.
So, yeah, they keep them maintained pretty good, so it's not bad. It's not like, I love the west side. I live on the west side, but those roads are rough.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I had a hardtail when I used to leave the west side.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
That was a Yamaha, right?
Yeah.
Dude, I remember that one. That one was pretty cool. Dude.
It was pretty cool.
That.
Yeah. So what kind of business do you do?
So I own a nationwide underground directional drilling company.
Okay.
So
for those that don't know directional drilling, you basically do cable that's fiber optic.
Yeah, we'll put in 2-inch conduits, two 2-inch conduits. We've even pulled up to 5, up to 8. There's so many different ways to do this stuff. We run Ditch Witch. I'm sure everybody's familiar with the orange equipment, or Vermeer, the yellow equipment. We're all orange where we're at. But yeah, like right now we're building a Verizon fiber network. It's for the 5G upgrade in Tampa, Florida. We're also doing it in Nashville, Tennessee, and we're doing a little bit in Kansas City as well.
You guys just do the drilling. You don't do the taps and the PEDs?
We do. We put those in. We put the vaults in. We're running vaults on this stuff, so it's those big boxes that are in the ground that have the double lids and stuff, or sometimes a single concrete lid on it.
That was one of my first jobs when I was 17 years old. Black Hills Fibercom came to South Dakota, and then they just Fibercom started blowing up.
Yeah,
so I got a job climbing telephone poles and hooking up the PEDs and the taps because they were like, "You're small. You can get up there, put the spikes on."
Did they have you gaffing?
They did, and I didn't mind it. I was really quick at it. I was good, but the spikes didn't have padding next to the ankles, so they really were into your bone bad, and it sucked. But I was 17. I was like, whatever.
Yeah,
I was like 85 pounds.
One guy was going to try to show us that. See, we were in installation fulfillment before we got into construction. Mm-hmm. And we were down in New Mexico Albuquerque, New Mexico, doing a tap audit, taking all the filters off, going digital, the DTAs that you need for your TVs or digital TV. But this guy was like, "You're going to learn how to gaff today. I'm going to show you this." And this guy was being all cocky about it. And I'm like, okay. Climbs up this rotted pole. It's kind of rotted a little bit more on the bottom. Climbs up it super fast, takes us off. And I'm like, man, that guy just got that done. He could make so much money. Well, he's coming down fast too, starts sliding, and this piece of wood starts slivering off and shoots right up into his calf, about like the size of my four fingers here, right into the back of his calf, and he fell off. I was just like, he's hanging on this fence. I'm like, rushing this guy to the ER, and I'm like, dude, we're driving. He's like, just hurry, get me to the hospital. I'm like, dude, I'm never gaffing in my life, bro. I'll just haul my ladder.
Yeah, you know those ladders that they have
the hooks? Yeah, yep.
You just hang them on there. And
yeah.
So I worked with this giant dude who lives in Spearfish. He's just a big brown boy, and he used to use the ladder all the time. He always made me do the pole, but sometimes they were really shitty.
Yeah,
and hanging over, so he would just bring it over and do it. And one day, he's like, "Hey man, grab me the clips and all this stuff." And I walk over to the truck. I come back and he's gone, and the ladder's gone. I'm like, where is he at? I'm looking everywhere, and I hear this like little girl crying in these bushes, and it's him, dude. Just no breath. He fell from the very top, the ladder, and he hit like every step coming down.
Oh no! Oh my god!
And I was like, yeah, he was a good 300 pounds.
Yeah. See, oh my god! Hey, shout out to Brandon Gayton. You know Brandon Gayton?
Mm-mm.
Dude, he plays for the little football team around here, but he's a big boy. I mean, this guy was literally traveling around with me down in the South, and we were in Virginia. I mean, he's a big boy.
Yeah.
I mean, that kid can power lift like no other. But I had to get him a special ladder, dude. I always used to give him shit. I'd be like, hey, go grab your fat man ladder and get up there. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was heavy duty.
Aluminum?
That thing was so heavy. No, it was like thick yellow fiberglass ladder. Like it was.
So he would have bent the aluminum.
Oh, man.
Just like tacos.
We used
like
to see him go up there and that span would just move. I was like, dude.
You start bowing.
He was like, is this okay? I'm like, yeah, dude, just keep going. I'm like, fingers crossed, you know?
So how long did it take you to actually like figure out what you want to do and start a business?
You know, I mean, you know, I made the comment about going to, you know, the state college in Yankton. I mean, it was really, I took a year off. You know, my dad killed himself when I was 13. Yeah. So that was really tough on me. He was one of my best friends, you know, and unfortunately, you know, my mom always used to tell me, don't ever say you hate somebody. But I was in, you know, an anger management program because I had to go to boarding school out of 8th grade in Milwaukee, and I was in an anger management unit. And, you know, from the boarding school, they put me in this, you know, anger management
kind of
facility.
Needed to diagnose you with that.
Right. And, you know, some real unfortunate things that happened. You know, my dad had went to prison and stuff. You know, he tried to kill my mom at Kelly's. And he got out while I was in there. And, you know, he's always begging me to come live up at our cabin where he was living. And I was like, you know, Dad, just let me come home. Just let me come home. I'll come live with you. You know, I was an angry kid. You know, all the stuff, the turmoil was going on between them.
Yeah.
You know, and he just, you know, I think he was trying to get back with my mom at that point, you know, and he's like, you know, Daniel, you're where you need to be at. This is what's best for you. I said, you know, I fucking hate you. I just wish you would die. And I hung up on him. And 2 weeks later, he killed himself. He hung himself in our garage. I never got to tell him I was sorry. I kept trying to call.
Was the last conversation that you had with him?
Yeah. So, you know, that kind of fucked me up bad. You know what I mean? It really.
It'll carry the weight with you for the rest of your life,
man.
It
did. You know, it did. You know, and it. You know, at that point, that's when, you know, me and a bunch of friends, you know, we ran around and did a bunch of troublesome stuff. You know, I was just rebellion, you know. We were doing, you know, breaking into concession stands at the baseball fields and stuff. You know, I don't know if you ever remember hearing about all that stuff.
No, I moved here in 05.
See, this would have been probably, well, maybe about a year, 2000. Yeah, I couldn't even do the math right now. But, you know, I mean, it was stuff that, like, I never talked about. I just went mute for like three months. I didn't ever talk to anybody. Didn't want to listen. You know, I still never processed it, you know.
Do you have as much empathy nowadays, or more empathy than you did back then for death and stuff? Because I've had like best friends. I mean, I've like said bye to one of my best friends in a coma.
Yeah,
and then I don't have. It's tough, but I don't have like as much empathy as I used to because now it's more accepting to me. I know it's gonna happen, and it's just there. It's like it's.
I think
it's inevitable.
The worst one, I mean, like I was just at my buddy, Idris Jenkins.
Okay.
So I was at I went to his mom's funeral. And Jinx has always been one of my favorite people. He rides with the bike community, everything. He's always giving me these big hugs. You know what I mean? He's one of the nicest guys. I call him John Coffee. I'm always posting the fucking Green Mile on Facebook. I'm like, with, Tom Hanks and John Coffee walking. I'm like, hey, Jinx, remember we killed it at Halloween, because he's a big boy, But I've never seen him cry, and he just grabbed me. Didn't know I was coming. I drove up from Kansas City to come, help him celebrate his mom's life.
Yeah.
And instantly he started crying on my shoulder. I just lost it. I couldn't stop crying through that whole freaking funeral because it's like, it hit me. It's like my mom runs the business with me. She works for my company.
Oh, okay,
She
cool.
runs the back books and stuff. I mean, she retired and then I just said, hey, she's always kind of helped us out a lot. So I just, we talk a lot and I'll be like, oh my God, my mom's calling me for the 20th time today. I know when I hang up with her, she'll call me right back, and it's like, but I realize, that's, I'm going to miss that one day. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're never going to get that phone call back.
One day those phone calls aren't going to come. And I think that's what's going to be the hardest thing for me, is something like that. I've had some friends die, and I share the same with you, the empathy. I just, I can accept it because I made it through my dad's deal. Like that was...
Yeah, man.
Wicked. At 13 years old, you try to get through some shit like that, and it's like if you can handle some shit like that, you can handle almost damn near everything.
It's it's really, really tough. It's hard on you, like mentally and emotionally and everything. But once you get the pieces back together, you never want to let them fall apart again. You just can't, because then you'll fuck up and find yourself in prison and shit like that. So
and see, that's what happened. That's what I was getting at, with the Yankton, the joke that I made in the beginning. I ended up going to prison for 2 years, and I got out of prison, and I was just like, you know what? Like everybody was like, I was making big money. You know what I mean? I was selling weed, and they ended up busting me, raiding my house, and it got raided another 5 times. Like, I mean, I was doing some real, living, not a good life. You know what I mean? Like, I just hated myself. I always hated myself since I was 13 for saying that shit, and that is where all my problems stem. I had a pretty decent childhood. I have a big heart. I care about people, but that's just kind of where my life took a turn. Everything was flipped upside down.
Did you do therapy?
No. I was in these boarding schools and stuff, but then I came back, and it's not my mom's fault or anything, but, she moved on quick. I was in there for a whole year in that boarding school, living there. She sold our house. Or, she got rid of the dog. She actually was with my stepdad, was actually there when my dad tried to kill her at Kelly's, and he stopped my dad. Now they've been married. I call him my dad. He's the one that taught me the real men lessons in life. My dad taught me, how to fish and do all that stuff. But as far as like actually learning how to be a man, it's, my stepdad, Mitch, I call him dad.
Cool, man. Yeah.
So it's, it's kind of tough. It was tough because she moved in with him. So now my childhood house is gone. My dogs are gone. All the furniture I grew up my whole life's gone. My cabin's gone. Like I come into a whole new life, and it's like I pretty much just tried to act like, hey, let's just act like it never happened and that this is just life. You know what I mean? And I think it caused a lot of problems for me.
Yeah, man, you bury something, you put it under the rug. Like relationships do that too. I mean, if you don't deal with things in your relationship and then you just dust it under the rug, it's going to come back out.
And that's like when we broke into these baseball fields and stuff, me and my friends at 13, that's where I had a lot of high moments with my dad. You know what I mean? Like we go mess around, and one time I accidentally pushed my friend into the door of the concession stand, just messing around, and it opened, and there's all this candy, and we're like, oh,
jackpot.
We took it, and it wasn't right. I look at that now and I'm like, that's really bad. And in fact, I tried to donate 20 grand to the 4 baseball fields around here. 3 of them accepted it. They did. I donated because they just got vandalized. Like, I think it was like a year ago. They just got vandalized and got robbed. And I was like, here's a perfect, opportunity.
Make it back up.
So I sent them all this message, and I'm like, hey, my name's Daniel McWilliams. Like, I don't know if you remember this. Explain the whole deal. And I said, listen, I heard your baseball fields. I paid my restitution. I did my community service as a kid. Yeah. But I'd like to donate to your field to help out with the cause. Canyon Lake, Little League. They read the message, and they were like, no, they didn't care. Harney took it. Rushmore, Little League. They were trying to get me to come down here. This gym... can't remember his last name, but he was a super nice guy. He called me. He's like, I can't believe this is great. Thank you. Can we come down? And, you know, it almost seemed like it was kind of be a spotlight. I was like, no, you know, I'm doing this.
Yeah.
I don't need no attention, nothing. I'm just trying to make something right. You know what I mean?
That's awesome, man. I fucking love it, dude. Yeah, because I don't know, man. I did a lot of shitty things too, but now I'm like, I kind of am a lot. Like I'm still working on things. I think a lot of us are, and that's
Are you still getting karma for the shit that you fucking did? Yeah. I swear to God, I am all the time. That's why I'm trying to do nice shit. I'm like, just stop now. Quit giving me some of this fucked up karma, dude.
Let's talk about sobriety real quick.
Oh my God, you know how I was, man. Jesus.
Well, like around here, it's pretty boring, man. In wintertime around here, you go out and you drink and stuff, and then I mean, like and now you know smoke weed, but then there's a lot of meth around here.
Oh my God, that shit's killing me, man. It's fucking ruining everybody's lives.
They put fentanyl in meth, and that's how they cook it. So now it's just like fucking really, really bad, and they can sell it really, really cheap. So it's really bad for everybody around here. But
it sucks.
But yeah, I mean, I hope marijuana does become legal around here, just because. It's not. I don't think anybody should go to jail for having a little joint on them.
You know what?
Like
I've been smoking weed. I'll fucking say it on here. I don't give a shit. I smoke weed, dude. You know, I went out to L.A. A couple weeks ago. You know, I haven't smoked weed in a long time. I went sober for 4 years. Had a little bit of a backfall, you know, slipped up in life trying to figure out, you know, I don't know what the hell I was trying to figure out, trying to go backwards, I guess. Yeah. You know, and I went to LA. I was like, listen, you know, what do you guys prescribe for somebody that has bipolar and ADHD? You know, I take lithium I take my proper medication for my bipolar. I used to be ashamed to say I have bipolar. But you know what? If you're ashamed to say something that's wrong with you, then you're going to try to deny it to yourself. Yeah. I admit it to myself. I know I need to work on it, and I do the proper steps to make sure it's being taken care of.
Everybody knows it. I mean, it just looks foolish of you not to admit something, you know? Yeah, so you got to be real.
I don't sit there and reef down in front of my kids or nothing like that. I don't do that around them at all. I mean, but like, you know, I'll step back out of my deck, and I got like, you know, a little pen or whatever, and I'll sit there and take one hit of indica, and people are like, you smoke indica during the day? I'm like, dude, I'm a high-wired, you know, I'm high-wired, bro. Even Mike said that out there. He's like, yeah, kid's wired up, isn't he? I'm like, yeah, dude, he knows. Mike knows how I am.
I think everybody does.
Yeah,
you got a lot of energy. Anytime you're around, dude, you better be ready. Like, you just can't wake up in the morning and be like, I'm ready for Danny McWilliams.
No, yeah, you got to prep yourself. I'm that guy that you got to message your friend and be like, hey, man, just listen. He won't shut the fuck up, but he's cool, all right?
I was thinking about this morning when I was getting up. I was like, all right, man, put your big boy pants on.
Yeah, better buckle that belt on real good.
How you gonna fucking direction this conversation with Danny?
Oh no,
like,
this shit'll be all over the place.
I know it's gonna be the biggest mess.
Oh my God!
But yeah, man, I had some problems with me I took care of, and it was just like it does help out. It makes you kind of not be such an asshole shithead. Like I don't know, I'm kind of more mellow. I'm happier where I'm at.
Now, you still drinking?
I drink once in a while, yeah.
Once in a while. You remember, you got to kind of spit some real shit?
I can't drink during the week, though, man. I don't know what it is, dude.
Yeah.
I can't do it. Like
that's just, it just makes you just, well, shit. And at our age, you know, you drink and then you're like, you got to recover for like 3 days.
Yeah, I can't get drunk at home or something like that. I don't do that. Like, I did that when I was like 25 or something, but now I can have a beer and that's about it. But I got to socialize. Like, if I go out, I'm with buddies, and we're drinking. We're not, we're not driving. I don't know. I don't know.
And
what
Lyft and Uber kind of changed that whole deal.
Did.
You know what I mean? It's I feel like Rapid City really prides themselves on DWIs. It's like, maybe these cops should, maybe not have, because I'm always a sober guy driving everybody home to the valley and all that stuff. And I'll see like 15 cops on my way. They'll run up on me and they'll pull up behind my Escalade and sit there and try to like back and forth. I'm like, dude, listen. And they'll pull me over. I had one cop pull me over and he's like, sir, do you mind getting out of the car? I was like, I do mind getting out of the car. He's like, I need you to step back to my car. I said, I'm not stepping back to your car. He's like, well, why is that? I said, just grab your PBT, give me the PBT because I ain't fucking drinking and leave me the fuck alone. I'm not getting in your front seat, gonna be all cramped up against your fucking laptop and shit, dude. Like, just give me a PBT. I'm not drinking, bro. That's it. There's no drugs in here. There's nothing. I don't look like a tweaker. Like, just leave me alone. He's like, have a good night.
Yeah, I locked a cop out of his car one time. I fucking started playing with the mic, and it was like dispatch. I was like, "Hey, how's it going?" And they're like, "Tomar, get off the mic." I was like, "Oh shit, they know who I am." I was like, "All right, man, I better let you back in."
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like it's.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's when marijuana does become illegal here. I was in Colorado, and one of my friends down there had like. It was like a tinfoil thing with gummies in it, the gummy bears.
Oh, yeah.
So they're like medical, but I'm not used to. I never seen something like that because they're medical. So she just like popped one out and gave it to me, and I was just like,
yeah,
like whoa,
dude, I can't do edibles, man. It's like, if I smoke it, it just takes me right to the top, and I'm like, I know I can walk my way back. With edibles, you're like, you go up a stair. And you're like, oh, okay, this ain't that bad. And then you go up another 4 stairs, and you're like, okay, hopefully this is going to stop soon. And then you're up 5 more stairs, and you're like, oh, shit, I shouldn't have ate that. Then you look at the wrap, and you're like, 10 servings, and you ate half the fucking deal. You know what I mean? You're like, oh, shit.
Well, this was just a 10 milligram bear, and it was THC and CBD.
Right,
So-
right. I like the stuff with the CBD in it,
Yeah.
like on the cartridges and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm really not about getting high. I'm about
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah.
I don't sit there and get all like I want to. I take
Yeah.
one little hit, and it just that indica. If I smoke sativa, I'll be all over the place.
Yeah, you can get a little head high, but I mean, it's not bad. But I mean, when you sit there and you smoke like a whole freaking bowl to yourself, okay.
Yeah, like I ain't buying no fucking bong. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, why do you need that? You need one rip, and then you got to like put it out. You got to put water on it. Or something
Yeah,
like that. It's just
yeah.
such a. You don't need to get that stone recent.
Even
on
that hit,
couch.
like these guys got bongs like this, and that's got to be at least a 2-inch diameter, and you're
Mm-hmm.
like, dude, that's a lot of smoke. I'm taking like little tiny hits, and it's like
it's good enough.
microdosing.
Yeah. It's better. Like that's being
responsible.
and
Look at us growing up.
medical. I know.
Who would have ever heard me say I'm responsible? But what's funny is like, I got this business and stuff, and I do very, very well with this business. I run it with a hustler's mentality.
Yeah.
So all my guys, all the way down to the very guy that's digging the holes. I mean, this guy's got an opportunity to make $100,000 a year.
Yeah.
They don't see this. So it's just funny how that kind of works.
It is, yeah. Like, especially when you have employees that smoke way too much weed, it, because they're just
yeah.
like, what was that? And you're like,
yeah.
dude, it's just like having somebody who's drunk. I mean, like, you can't compare. I know people get in those debates about like a drunk is worse than somebody who's high. Well,
I ain't gonna be crashing into somebody when I'm smoking. I'm be like, dude, is it 25 here? They're like, no, it's 55.
it's equally annoying for me. It's equally annoying when you get somebody who's so high that they're just like burn out, like. Their mind is somewhere else, and they're just like, what? I'm just like, oh my God, get up.
Well, me and Travis, and what I was saying is, like, me and Travis were sitting, Travis Coyle.
Oh, yeah.
That's my brother, dude. Shout out to him. He's doing huge things over there at VIP with Lori Burnett, dude. He is killing it as a realtor. I'm so happy for him. He's doing such a good job. But, me and him were sitting up in Vertex, and he's got all these big clients and stuff. People are coming up, and they're shaking their, hey, man, how you been? Because I see everybody, I got love for everybody in Rapid City. Everybody on my Facebook, even if I barely know you.
Yeah.
But they're sitting there shaking their hand. I look at Travis, what's funny, bro? I think these people think we're actually professionals.
You are.
We just make money, man. We're the most immature people you'll ever freaking meet. We're the guys that'll still go to LA and rent a G-Wagon, dude, and we're just doing
acting baller.
Just no, doing stupid shit, dude. Just like, hey, Tom, like yelling at somebody, and they're like looking around. You dropped your pocket. Like, it's the stupidest shit ever. I mean, but it's like we're having fun, it's about having fun.
That's what I think about our generation that's coming up in business is we grew up in a kind of a generation where we were like, I don't know, we were really different. Like
it was.
Yeah.
I mean, even our
the
parents.
millennials are completely different than us. Like,
Well, yeah.
yeah, I don't know, man. It's going to be a lot of people who did a lot of, wrong things that are going to be owning businesses. And we're going to have to accept it and be like, nobody's perfect.
Well, it's like tattoos, you know what I mean? Nobody really accept. Now you see cops with sleeves and stuff,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's just, it's the generations changing. It's like our parents' were so structured on them, and so then
Hard
they
on
took,
them.
they took that. They were like, that was stupid, and they're like raising their kids a little bit more lenient. Now we're like really like, hey, let's do it even more lenient, and it's like
We're such a mess that their parents were so hard on them that it was just so fucked up that a lot of us are, and now we're we at least a lot of us. Sorry,
Yeah. See, now you're getting old, you're getting that freaking chest burn and everything.
A lot of us actually realize though that we were messed up, but we don't look down. Like I know, we kind of feel like, yeah, you're kind of messed up too. You gotta.
I love business. That. I love when somebody else is fucked up, had a fucked up past, and then they fix it. It's called leveling up.
It is. I love people who own businesses that are real. They're like, oh, dude, I was never perfect. I did this and I did that, but now I'm happy and I do this and I just love what I'm doing. And I'm like, yeah. When you get older, you just have to find something you love doing, like being a hustler.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, I look at business different than some traditional business people. I look at making it the hustle. Like I was saying, my guys. The way that I structure it, I give them production, and a salary. You know what I mean? Like I pay way different than anybody in this industry, and I thought I turned that off, and there's that realtor that I needed to talk to. We're trying to rent these 16 trailers right now in Tampa, and it's like...
Let's take a quick break. We'll let Danny take that call. Okay, and we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back, everybody. Black Hills Podcast is so fresh. We don't have any sponsors yet, and if you'd like to place your ad, this is where it's going to go. Black Hills Podcast is a new source of media to get to know more about the people, their stories, and ideas. This is a beautiful area, and it's exploding with ambitious and creative people. But we want to hear everything Black Hills. Entrepreneurs, leaders, charities, businesses, artists, musicians, hairstylists, restaurants, sports, motorcyclists, automotive, pets, athletes, hunters, fishers, firefighters, police officers, healthcare community, the religious and political community, men and women, the LGBT community, everything. This is where we come to share stories, ideas, and have conversations about anything and everything Black Hills. Keep it local, keep it Black Hills. Welcome back, everybody. We had to take a little break for Danny. He's such a busy dude. Thanks for being here, by the way, and taking the time out to stop by the studio today.
Yeah, I'm very happy for you. You found a real cool thing here you got. I see you're very passionate about it. So, that's always cool to see somebody that, has a passion for something, Did you see that new Ford versus Ferrari?
I saw that, yeah. Shelby.
Dude, like how he's talking about, his dad talking about, when a man finds something he wants to do, that man's a lucky man. But then there's some that find something they have to do, and if they don't do it, they're going to be
miserable.
And that's how I feel about what I'm doing. I've seen too many people that I've met that are, worth $150 million, have the $150 million companies, and it's just like I interact with them on an intellectual level, and I'm like, I know I can do this. I can do exactly what you've done. It's just takes time.
Yeah, you got to put the pieces together.
But I want it right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? We all do. We all want it right now.
So for those people out there that want to be entrepreneurs and be successful, big business people, what kind of information can you send them?
Man, it's just like, when I was talking earlier, like when I got out of prison, I was just like, I started roofing and stuff. And, I had like $50,000 that was from Social Security from with my dad dying, and it was supposed to be used for college and whatnot. But, I was never like real good with grammar. Everybody knows that on Facebook. They'll probably like look at my post and they'll see I try, and they're like, dude, you should not even just do it.
You're not a writer.
No.
You're not a writer.
I'm way better at talking, Yeah. So it's, just stuff like that and stuff that I take interest in. So, I didn't want to go to college. So I started roofing with Josh Bose with Quality Roofing. One of my biggest mentors, I looked at him, I've always looked up to him for having his business and stuff.
Yeah.
And he used, he kind of took me under his wing, and he knew that I wanted to go that direction. And he was kind of always telling me like, kind of how his business worked, So, eventually I just found something. I found, Mid-Continent here was hiring with TAC Communications. I know all the owners of that out of Sioux Falls. They're killing it now. They're like $175 million company now. The jumps that they've made is insane. I got with them and I saw how they were doing it, and that's kind of, I saw a good way in,
Opportunity. You're like,
Yeah.
I know how to do this.
You see opportunity, if it's knocking on the door, let it in and just run with it, and that's really the only thing that you need to do is if you want something bad enough, you'll get it.
Yeah. Were you scared going into business?
Dude, I've always been, I still get scared, man. I make
Yeah.
some pretty risky, bold moves, that, there's been a couple of times I've had the chips all on the table, It was easier to do before I had kids. Sorry, my breathing I'm still adapting to the breathing. I've been down in the sea level, so like it's.
You're just a heavy breather, man. You're a mouth breather, Danny.
I know, yeah.
No, it's all good, man. Plus, you an active guy, so.
Yeah, but
with business.
with kids, with my kids though, sometimes I'll make a move, and I'm like, holy shit, if this doesn't work out, like. I'm looking at my kids running around because I work from home,
Yeah.
I sit at my home a lot, but, now I've been more active in the field.
You kind of have to do that, though. You have to. It's scary. Like a lot of guys who have families and stuff, they don't want to take that risk, but you kind of have to if you want to be successful.
Yeah, and I know, even if I failed in this, I'd rather fail knowing that I put everything on the line to try to make it work. And if I fail, I'm not going to be disappointed. I'll get back up. I fall on the ground, I'll get back up.
You know what you did wrong, and the next time you'll just go about it different.
That's the best learning experiences that you can get in this is doing something wrong is your best lesson because now you know what doesn't work.
Yeah, I've seen so many people run businesses and start businesses that they did it too cookie cutter. They did it by the book too much.
Yeah,
and it wasn't.
You got to cut corners sometimes.
Yeah, they didn't really take a risk to do things like right or different. They just see it done one way and it worked, and they're like, I can do this, then I can make a living, and then I'll retire. Like, no, it's not going to work. Our whole industry, our whole world's changing. And it's going to. Like, every 10 years, it changes a little bit. So you couldn't have done this 20 years ago. You could have, but it wouldn't have been popular. It wouldn't have been everywhere. Like, Fibercom was one of my first jobs that just came here. It wasn't here. So all those old guys that were doing old stuff, like the old just coax cable, that's gone. And then now the new ways of GPS and the boring rods and stuff like that. It's just you have to learn how to use technology, too, while doing that stuff. Yeah. So it's just different. Like, there's different ways of learning how to do business nowadays, and you have to keep up with it, or you're going to get left behind.
Yeah, and that's kind of the same thing too. Is like I'm in my industry, I'm pretty young. You know what I mean? I'm one of the younger, business owners. That's trying to come up on that level. A lot of these guys are in their late 40s or early 50s. Mm-hmm. I started out at 21. I've been doing this for 10 years trying to build on this level. I've worked next to publicly traded companies such as Dycom, multi-billion-dollar company, Maztec Industries, $8 billion company. I've worked in these systems and their subsidiary companies, and just kind of saw the things that worked, saw the things that didn't. Once companies get so corporate and they got shareholders and stuff, it takes ask a question and it'll take a week to get an answer.
Yeah.
As to where a smaller business, but every business evolves to that certain point. You know what I mean? At some point you got to grow and you got to get structured. And that's where we're at right now with what we're doing out in Tampa. I mean, it's crazy how fast it's just happened. I mean, it's like everything I've worked for the 10 years, it just, I put 3 months ago, I put everything on the line. I mean, I was stressed out. I was
sleep.
Oh, I was probably on 2 hours of sleep. I mean, I was staying up every night, just worried, looking around in my house, be like, if I fail, man, my kids, what am I going to do? I'll always be fine. I'll go work building bridges. I'll do it. I don't care if that pays for my family, make sure my kids are good. I'll go build bridges and work 80 hours a week just so that they're taken care of. But that's the kind of person I am. I'll get it done. Yeah. No matter what it is, I'll do it.
It's good, man. I like that.
So, it's that's what an entrepreneur has to be. People are like, well, I wish I could be in your shoes. I'm like, dude, you wouldn't want to jump in these shoes right now because there's so much more shit to it.
You have to take care of it. You have to handle the stress too. A lot of people crumble.
You have to level up
positions.
Yeah. You have to level up as a person. Yeah. And jumping into somebody's shoes, like my brother Forrest Thompson. Forrest Thompson. I mean, Forrest. Everybody knows Forrest. Forrest is killing it with Remax. He is just, building TNT homes. I mean, they're amazing homes. I mean, they're, it's awesome. Him and Tony are freaking killing it, and Forrest is my mentor since, with Josh Bowes. I mean, I've grown with Forrest my whole life. He always tries to tell me things that I should not do. And I always just end up like I bought that big wheel bagger and I put all that money in it. He's like just over there on the sideline shaking his head at me. You know what I mean? I'm just like,
You got to enjoy what you got too, man. You do. I mean, it is kind of being a little irresponsible. Like, you should wait. But you can't wait until you're retired. You got to do it now.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, if you wait too long, then what was it all for?
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
And I mean, I see, now the more I see Forrest evolve, the more I see him level up. I mean, Forrest is on a lot bigger levels than me, right now. You know what I mean? But I'm slow. I'm quickly coming up, and he's showing me a lot of ways and structures. I'm supposed to meet with him while I'm here. Every time I come to town, I pretty much meet up with him, kind of explain scenarios within my business. I mean, his mind is just, it's crazy how smart, he really is. He's very intellectual. He's on a whole nother level. Like, he'll say some stuff to me, and I usually read people pretty well, and I'm just like, wait, what? I didn't think about it like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good having a couple friends that are intelligent like that, that can steer you away from your thinking.
Well, yeah, and that's like people out here that have gotten sucked into some of these drugs and shit around here. They want to change their lives. I'll see them out there. They're like, how do I do this? Some of these people breaking into tears, like friends that I had when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And it's just like they're like, how do I change my life? I'm like, dude, you got to change the people you're around.
Yes. And
it's hard to do here.
It is. And also starting a business around here and stuff. Like, you watch a lot of people behind closed doors really root to see you fail rather than succeed. And it's kind of like there's only a few, a handful that are like, yeah, do it, man. Like, well, there's a lot that aren't just secretly be like,
we're all haters at one point. You know what I mean? No shit, I'll see somebody like when I had my bike, when I bought it, it was built. The guy did a real good job. You saw the brown bike,
Yeah.
Now I'm completely redoing it. It's actually going to be done in the next 2 months. But I mean, I'd be at Sturgis, and it's, it's a $60,000-$70,000 bike. And then like, here comes a $100,000 bike. And you're just like,
damn,
dude, like, look at that detail in the frame, the chin spoilers molded in, there's paint on the artwork on the neck, and it's just the welds are different, and, there's just so much more detail to it, and it's just like, man.
I think we did talk about business enough. Let's talk about bikes.
Yeah, dude, for real.
So I'm into metrics. I dig Harleys, but there's only a select few. I hate how I see every other Harley out there look alike. Everybody's got a street glide. Everybody's got a road glide. And they all look exactly alike. It's like, dude, what? You're riding the same twins, man. There's nothing, they all sound the same. They ride the same. You put some T-bars on it, but congratulations. It's like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Like, do something. And yours was nasty looking, man.
Oh,
Giant turbo hanging off the side.
See, and that was the standard turbo. Now I got rid of that one. I got the Typhoon Trask turbo, brought the motor up from the 120R to a 124, completely bulletproof, did the cams, new cams, pistons, rods, rings. The whole motor is built, Baker 6B, grudge box transmission. This thing, new flywheels, this thing's got nitrous on it now. It's, it's stupid.
Danny's the last person that needs nitrous.
Well, and see the cool thing about it and what I'd love to have a crotch rocket. I would love to have a crotch rocket because, it would be so badass, but I got kids.
Yeah.
I know I'll kill myself on it because I will do 90 through a corner on Nemo. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know, man, if you just have a stock Harley, don't mess with one of those crotch rockets, man. Those things will snap a speedo. Like that, dude.
Real quick.
They are fast and they're light. They're fun. They're 4 cylinders, but they're cool, man. I dig them. I'm not.
I respect them, and I know I shouldn't ride them.
I have that anxiety when I'm riding one because I used to ride my buddies all the time. It was a Ninja 636.
Yeah.
I just like every time, dude. You just like you get that anxiety, and you're just like, wing!
Yeah.
Oh, it just takes off.
Like, let's go.
You're like before you know it, you're doing like 100 down, one regular ass 25-mile-an-hour road, and you're like, okay, like I gotta go back. I need something that's gonna break down at least a couple times. That's why I ride old bikes.
Yeah, Carlos Mendia.
Yeah,
dude. So me and Carlos were on this Badlands run. We had a couple of the boys with us too. But he's got his V-Rod. I got that Sawtail. That Sawtail, it's a 19 Deluxe.
Mm-hmm.
I got I'm
nice.
doing the bolt-on kit. So take it from a 107 to a 124 on that motor. I know, but I got to, you know what I mean? Because it's just like, you know, I mean, it's $4,000, dude. That's cheap horsepower right there. For $4,000, just bolt on, no flywheels, change nothing. Just throw it on.
Come on, man. Just throw a turbo on and call it a day.
See, that's what I told him. See, the thing I hate about turbos, dude, and that's what I hate about my big wheel is that there's no sound. It just got that whistle. You just hear it. That turbo eats up all the sound. If you put some freaking double barrel Vance and Hines on that thing with that motor built like that, that thing would just sound just nasty.
Get it.
Yeah, but I like that turbo. I like that horsepower because on the big wheel, I have to restrain myself. You know what I mean? I can't just go into a corner full speed. Now Mike and them guys have seen me ride that. In fact, when I first bought that bike, I called up Mike and I said, dude, I got to figure out the pivot point, how far I can turn this thing. He's like, why don't we just go up Needles Highway and you figure it out? I was like, you know what? All right, let's go. So me, him, Clay, and everybody, we went up Needles Highway, man, and I left some paint there, but I figured out that big wheel. Now I got different bags on there, though. So I'm like, and these sit lower than these ones. I ain't even going to try it out. You know, I'm still going to ride it hard, but at least I can go fast on the straightaways.
Yeah.
You know? Can't get crazy in the corners. So it'll save my life.
I had Mike Maloney on from Black Hills Harley Davidson, and he was talking about functional riding too around here with the big wheels and stuff. It's like for inexperienced riders that go up to Needles, it's probably not a good idea for them to, you know, just hop on something like that and go down.
Yeah.
Like it's like not really functional around here.
Well, and that's like one time I was coming back through Van Auker Canyon, the back when I had Diamond, dude. That was a CVO breakout, man. I had my freaking brake lever, you know, the pedal, freaking the bottom of that was all grind down from me putting it on the road all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, I got wild on that bike, and that was just a 110, you know what I mean? But that was easy to throw around with that.
Was it a Dyna?
No, it was a CVO breakout Softail.
Oh.
Yeah, so I was riding on Van Auker Canyon during Sturgis. I think this was maybe the 73rd or something like that. This guy on one of those big boss freaking motorcycles comes cutting everybody off, and I'm like, dude, you're on the wrong fucking corner coming up. It's that blind corner that comes right out after you're coming past that little place
like
that's got the Italian food.
And there's that wall.
Yeah, dude, he smashed right into that wall. And I mean, I looked and he got up quick. He was quick about getting back up. I was like, you're all right. And I just kept going.
Oh, God. Yeah,
like that's what you get for cutting everybody out, trying to act like you're fucking cool, like you know this road. Like these tours come up here and they start trying to ride like dumbasses, and it's like you haven't been on this road. Like when I went to Tail of the Dragon on the Tennessee and Kentucky border, you know, for anybody who doesn't know what that is, definitely look it up. You can watch some of the craziest accidents. There's like 7 accidents on it every weekend. I mean, these people will there's 318 curves, sharp curves, and 11 miles.
Damn.
But I was running that with crotch rockets, man. I was dragging those fish fins on that freaking Softail, dude. I was following these crotch rockets my last run of the night. I freaking cut into one. You know those brackets right there that hold those on?
Yeah.
I pushed on it enough to where it skidded my back tire over. I mean, my shit's got scratches all over it from that road. But those guys, we got to the end, they were like, holy shit, dude. I ain't never seen nobody ride this like that with a Harley. I'm like, you should see me ride the Black Hills, bro.
I love riding this place, man. It's like before I lost my vision, my bike, man, is like you couldn't cruise real fast, but just being out there, like it was like my last memory of riding. And then I was like, oh my God, now I can't wait to build this new bike and get back out there because it's
I'm happy for you to do it because now we get a ride again.
It's a CB 750. It's sick, dude. Like people are like, it's a Honda. I'm like, you won't even know it's a Honda. When you see this thing, you're going to be like, what in the hell
Well, dude,
is
you're
that?
Yamaha, dude. That shit was badass. I was like, that's cool. I'm like,
it doesn't look
don't
like,
get in it. No, it looked cool. It was cool.
Yeah, I like the bobbers and the choppers.
Yeah.
I like how they look really... You can't tell what they are, and then a lot of Harley guys, too, they walk up to them like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, and see, and that's what I'm trying to do. You know, like I got the big wheel, you know, and I mean, that's not even, you know, my favorite stuff, but I want to do, you know, I've got my Softail Deluxe, you know, it's kind of got the Cholo look.
I like that.
But my buddy owns Exotic Customs down in Lincoln, Nebraska. He builds, I don't know if you've seen his bikes, the blue one with all the copper and then the green and white one. He built Goat's bike, that big wheel bagger that he had.
Okay, yeah.
So he built that one too. He's super awesome at this stuff. Exotic Customs does some crazy stuff. They're actually going to do my Lincoln Continental. I got a 66 Lincoln Continental. I'm going to slam it on air, you know, put put an LS motor in it.
Where'd you get a Lincoln Continental from?
60. I got my realtor down in Kansas City. He's got a 66 just sitting there, and I was like, I'll take it. Sell it to me for $5,000. I'm going to have it completely redone.
Those are cool, man.
Dude,
those are pretty rad.
It's a project in the process. I got to slow down on my projects, but they all get done somehow or another. You know, I get it done. That's what it is, you know. If I want it, I get it.
Go work hard, play hard, man.
Man, and if I can't afford it, I'll work harder. That's it. That's all it is.
How do you measure your own success, though?
You know, I think it was like a number. I just, you know, I've met so many people. You know, I've sat down with a guy that's actually worth $1 billion, you know, and talked to him. And I mean, you would never think it seeing the guy. You know what I mean? Yeah. He flipped a bunch of cable systems, you know, back in the day. And, you know, I've met quite a few people that, you know, are very, very, very successful. These people don't really look at money like a lot of people do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a game. It's a monopoly. It's moving money.
How successful can I make myself rather than your bank account so fat? Be like, screw it. That's
at that point, business. It's like we don't care. You don't care what that looks like. It's more how can I keep leveling up, and it all comes down to leveling up. You know, and I just learned that kind of this last 2 years is just it's very important to level up on so many different levels. You know, there's different layers in your life that you should try to level up on.
Yeah.
You know, me getting good with myself, you know, a couple years ago when I got sober with my dad's death and all that stuff, I actually started talking about it. You know, and that's when things started clearing up. Having kids, you know, I used to live like I was ready to die tomorrow back when I used to drink all the time. You know, I was ready to I hated myself. That's why I was so angry. That's why I was so mean to everybody because I just hated myself. You know, here I am, this 22-year-old kid. I leave Rapid City. Everybody thinks I'm a joke because you just went to prison. You're going to be a piece of shit the rest of your life, you know. And I go out, but then I'm in these shithole hotels for 4 years trying to build this company and build a name for myself. But I'm watching everybody on fucking social media playing beer pong and having all this fun and shit. And, you know, I mean, I was jealous. I was a fucking hater on a lot of people out here.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh, you're just having fun? That's cool.
You know what I mean? You're just enjoying your life.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Screw you, man. I'm working hard.
I'm over here living in hotel rooms you can pay for by the hour. You know, don't bring a black light in there. You know what I'm saying? Damn.
Yuck.
Yeah, it was horrible, man. I'm telling you, like, it was a long road, man. And, like, some people ask me, like, how do I do this? I'm like, don't do what I did, man. Just fucking don't do what I did.
Do it your own way, yeah.
Do what you think's going to be good. I could never put myself back through what I did to get to where I'm at.
Yeah.
So me starting early probably got me to where I'm at now. There's no way I would have been able to get into this at any other point but then, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. Some people ask me too, like, am I happy with what I'm doing? I'm like, I'm not successful yet. This is just starting. I think this is the direction a lot of places are going to go as podcasting. It's more free. It's more open. It's, you know, this is a real conversation. It's not scripted.
Yeah.
I think places that like media companies that start their own podcasts, it's going to be too much red tape and too much, you know, not real talk. It's not, you can't really say everything. And this, the nice thing is, I'm a conversationist. I'm not an interviewer. I just like to talk.
Well, I just like that I'm able to talk to a friend. You know what I mean? This is way better that I know you on a way personal level. You know, we've been, you know, we've known each other since we were like 18, 17, 18.
Should we tell everybody how we met?
Oh, my God.
No, we'll keep that for next time.
What did I try to do? I tried to fight you, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it wasn't my fault.
Oh, I know. I was a fucking asshole back in the day, dude.
No, it was, okay, let's get into it real quick.
Oh, my God.
All right. So this kid, you called him or something like that, and he was like,
it was Dustin.
Yeah, he was like, and
he called the cops because I told him I was going to kick his door down.
Yeah. He was like, you were like, you're messing around with my girlfriend. He was like, yo, it's not me. But he was actually trying for a long time to get the pants stuff. But then he blamed it on me. And then he called me, and I was like, yeah, actually I did.
Yeah.
But she didn't say she had a boyfriend, and you're like, oh, and I'm like, no, she's straight up lying, dude. So you get rid of her, and you're like, cool, man.
You know, that's a weird thing too. Is like, you know, as you grow too, even relationships. Like, you remember when you were younger, like everybody's been there. I think, you know, I used to be kind of like the guy that was like try to be controlling and stuff because I felt like at that point, that's what I had in my life is a relationship. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And now I'm not like that because, you know, I want to do me. You know, I want to see somebody else succeed. So when I'm in a relationship, I see my kids getting raised. I see them being treated properly. She focuses on the family. I focus on business. We don't look through each other's phones. None of that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't believe in that now. And I think that's what I mean by growing and leveling up is you become a different person. You're not so insecure.
In
and
all areas, you become, you just can't focus on the road ahead. You got to sometimes just look around and be like, I got to do me too, and they got to do them. Hopefully she does something that makes her successful. Like my girlfriend too, she's a nurse.
Right.
And I helped her out when she was going to school, just helping her just concentrate and study, not totally concentrate on our relationship and do these things. And yeah, man, I always kept it. I've always been honest though.
Dude, I got to Florida, and I'm like, yo, I still got 3 months. I get 3 months to get my my body right for summer and stuff. I always try to get worked up for Sturgis and stuff.
Yeah,
dude, I get to Tampa, and I'm like walking out on this beach, and I've still got 3 months of winter left at home, and I'm like, oh man, I got to start going to the gym a lot faster.
Everybody's all ripped on steroids.
Oh my god,
I've always been honest though. And when you called and you tried to yell at me and fight me and stuff, I was like, yeah, dude, I'm down, but I'm not lying to you, dude.
Honesty was a policy.
And you were like,
what I mean?
Thanks for being honest, man.
Yeah,
I have
that's it.
I have a spot for you, and you're like, and we've always been friends ever since.
Yeah.
And I don't lie to people.
No.
I think it's funny when people try to make me out to be a liar, but it's like, if you do something wrong, but you're honest about it, at least you show them that you're like,
yeah,
you're not afraid, and you're like, well, this is actually a meaningful relationship, friendship now.
It's integrity. It's like have some self-worth. You know what I mean? Like have self-worth. I'm not scared to tell people how it is, because that's how I a lot of the times that's how I succeed a lot better. You know what I mean? Like I'll tell a company that's trying to get me to do something a certain way to be like, listen, man, I've done this with Dicom or one of the bigger companies, and these guys may be only like a $30 million company, and I'm just like, look, if we do it this way, it'll be way better. And a lot of times they'll be like, no, it's not going to work. Then I said, well, this ain't going to work then.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't sell yourself out, man. I don't think you should.
I'll never be a sellout. You know what I mean? Money ain't going to change me. And see, a lot of people around here, they think that that's all that I am is money. Because when I talk money. Like, I talk money. If you ain't talking about money, then, I'll talk whatever, you know what I mean? Like, obviously, you see how we're talking, but when somebody asks me about my job, like, I'll throw numbers and do all this. It's not me trying to brag or trying to showboat or
be arrogant
flex. They see me shining, but I'm barely flexing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm just talking what I do. I move money. I move things around. That's what I do. Yeah, and that's all I do.
Yeah.
That's why I won't live here. That's why I live in Kansas City. I've got some friends there that are professional friends. But I don't have just little hangout buddies that I go play beer pong and shit with that I was all jealous about around here. And listen, some of you are still playing beer pong, bro. You guys need to chill out, for real, because that's
they're
quit. You know what I'm saying? That's how you get somewhere. Quit playing beer pong.
I haven't.
Quit throwing parties on Tuesday night and staying up for 5 days. Goddamn.
Yeah, that is embarrassing, dude.
Leave the light bulbs in your fucking house, okay? Don't take them out of the sockets.
Yeah, I hope a lot of you out there don't know what that means, man.
Oh, my God, dude. It's sad, dude. It's really sad.
Yeah.
There's some people that I never would have thought in a fucking million years would be doing shit like this. And it's like you see them and you're like,
gross.
I'm like, dude, I'd love to just, and the messed up thing, I don't know, you saw my post on Facebook. I get so many people that ask me for money all the time.
Danny, you got $250 I can borrow, man?
It seriously is. And it's usually right around there. And we all know $250 will buy an 8-ball fucking blow or whatever, but it's these sob stories and stuff. And dude, sometimes it feels so fucking bad because it's dude, people do see me shining, they see me doing what I got to do.
Yeah.
And I hate that I get some of these stories, man. And it's
people begging for money or what?
They'll tell me some sad stories, dude, like their kid, and sometimes I think it's a fucking lie.
Yeah.
But it's to try to hit my heart, and I got a big heart. I'd love to help everybody, man. I'd love to just be completely set and just help all my friends, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it's I have to help my family, and that's my family is the people that are working in my company. My company money needs to stay in the company.
One thing about Black Hills is you can be successful around here. You can find business around here. You can do something. You have to just get out and put the pieces together and do it.
Well, you can be successful in whatever you do.
Yeah.
You don't even, money does not, it does not identify success.
I don't think it does either, yeah.
To me, success for me is being a good dad. As long as I can lead this life, I may have been a piece of shit in a lot of aspects of my life, but I know for a fucking fact, and I can sit here and tell you straight to your face and look you in the eye, I am one of the best dads you'll ever meet. My kids are my fucking everything, and they changed my life. My life was I was just so selfish and ready to die tomorrow, and now I had something to live for when my little girl came, and now I got 3 of them, you know what I mean? So, it's success is measured in whatever makes you happy in life and whatever makes you feel content and feel full. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean you got to make $200,000 a year. You could make, the bare minimum. I've seen people that just do 9 to 5 and they struggle, but they're happier than, a lot of people like me. I'm high stress.
Yep.
My old lady puts up with me. I don't know how she does, but sometimes she don't. But I just, that's just what it is, man.
All right. On that note, congratulations, man, and way to be a good dad. Fuck yeah. Next time you're in town, we'll have you back. We'll talk
man.
More, dude.
You know, brother.
All right. Thanks for listening, everybody. I hope you got something to take away from this, too. You can be successful even if you are from the Black Hills.
It just takes that one step.
Yep.
Just take one step forward, and the next day, take another step.
Take a
walk
risk.
Forward.
Take a risk.
There's 3 gears.
Yep.
Forward, neutral, and reverse. Let's go forward.
Attaboy.
All right, brother. Thank you so much.
Peace out, everybody.